Good evening and welcome to Jefficho Films. The following video is a recap of my D&D adventures through the eyes of my character Colwyn before I retire him for some time and take over as Dungeon Master, where the adventures and narrative will continue. So enjoy. Time ago in a land far, far away, actually on a boat heading to the island of Chult, I met my brothers, who I did not know were my brothers at the time, Anduin and Merkin. We traveled long on a vessel seeking whatever comfort was available to keep our minds from going mad, being at sea for such a long time. Some of us were teased for that comfort, but shrugged it off as we finally made it to land. We went to the city, found a bar, met a half-dead man who would later give us the bar, which technically we still own. After a night in a brothel, what happens in Chult stays in Chult. We had to go rescue a prince of Chult and his sister, but they were dead. We did find another brother though. Damn, were our parents horny. After some time in a monastery where we learned Anduin mutters when he rudders, and some time in the jungle, also the entire genocide of an entire bird race, which I was against, we left the island. Back at sea with our newfound brother, who I clearly didn't like at first, I quickly came to the conclusion the captain of the vessel must die. I knew she would lead us to our death, though the others will tell you it's because I was teased for supposed sexual relations with her. I still say I slept on the couch, and any loud noises you heard were merely my excitement of reading many leather-bound books and the cabin's rich smell of mahogany. Locked in his cell for my attempts to kill the captain, I realized my brothers would not aid me in this quest. While celebrating the birthday, someone snuck me a beer, and thank fuck. Also, a kraken attacked the ship, and Anduin, the master thief, failed countless times at trying to pick the lock of my cell. I did eventually get out, but we had to swim for it. Who knew what other foul, wretched things would grab us in these waters? While What's-His-Nuts was doing a spell to get us a ride out of there with a dragon, I saw my chance, and drowned the bitch. Anduin half-heartedly tried to stop me, but he knew, deep down, it was a must. We traveled back to the lands via dragon, met a stupid kid who had an important dad. He didn't like me because I told him Merkin had a 10-inch penis. The roll giveth, and the roll taketh away. We traveled to this place on fire, helped save the village, rushed through the night on no rest, snuck around hordes of mercenaries and druid-like fucks, found Anduin's dad, and me and Merkin snuck into a cave and got screwed over by this dwarf and hot elf chick that totally wanted to bang me. Found my mom, kinda not impressed with her lack of interest in my rescue and such. Rode a dragon out of there, or a blimp. I failed to climb it. I was a few beers in my defense. We ended up in a city holding the tournament, so naturally, we entered it. Presented as royals of Chult, we would face many in battle. Lissa, my former fiancée and long-lost love, and her asshole brother who framed my family, was there. I tried to reconnect with her, but she was promised to another. Bullshit, I know. I shared a room with Merkin, as I feared for my safety, expecting to get taken by Richard in my sleep in the middle of the night. This created some rumors among the servants that we were sharing a bed, but joke's on them. Merkin's cursed sword fed upon one of them. I was complicit in burying the body, which I feel was a nice brother bonding experience. Thankfully nothing came of it. Hot elf chick and dwarf fuck got captured and tortured by my brothers. Kinda dark, guys. At least when I drowned a bitch, it was clean, pure, thirst-quenching. Anduin lost his dad for like the 50th time, so we left the city and met some weird bastards who would later clone us. Fought this OP chick with shitty defense. She was no match for my glaive, which I upgraded with special space medals to fight dragons and other magical fucks. We rescued his dad again and made it back to the tournament just in time for shit to go sideways. Some dude wanted to kill the prince holding the tournament. We got into a big fight with our other clones and others before a ridiculous amount of dragons attacked. Every direction we ran got cut off. Merkin and Anduin fell, but I poured potion into them, bringing them back to life. Eventually one of the dudes teleported us out of there. I had actually taken no damage the whole time. Ranged weapons, bitches, that's where it's at. Next we woke in Waterdeep and stuck in a cell for some time. No beer, WTF. Eventually some chick bathed us rather harshly, but I couldn't help but notice she was staring at Merkin's well-endowedness. Brought before the Council of Waterdeep, I pointed out I could have ended this war by now if I wasn't in a cell the whole time. Of course only I believed those words. They told us a treaty was in effect, but that they would use this time to gather forces and attack the dragons. Naturally we were sent to deal with it. I demanded a party to celebrate our victory in a tournament, where I didn't drink too much because I became quite untrusting of these suddenly kind hosts who tell us we're long-lost royalty. I've always known I was meant for the throne, but never craved to rule. I always just wanted a nice cabin by a lake with the woman I love, chopping wood for the fires we'd have later. I tried to get Merkin laid the whole night and failed, 'cause these bitches be hookers and that ain't cool. Next morning, we stocked up on anti-vampire shit, 'cause we had inklings of where we were being sent. Somehow we were teleported there. I'm not a fan of teleportation. Always feel like my junk isn't going to arrive with me on the other side. Petrovia, where I received a message 2 weeks old to come to the prince's wedding. 'Twas bullshit, as he was marrying my Lissa. We met gypsies, and not the cool kind, like the one I hooked up with at one time. These were big fans of the Dark Lord, so I kinda didn't want to hang around long. After Anduin learned some prophecy shit, we wandered into the dangerous fog and found one of Richard's men dying. Later we found a town where we were attacked by wolves and some vampire bitch. Only magical weapons hurt them, so my glaive did well, but I took a lot of damage and pulled out the wooden stake as a last desperate effort, but it didn't do shit. Don't believe everything you read, kids. This bitch didn't care that I had an invitation, or rather that I had brought 2+1s. I passed out and woke up to see we survived. We ate some stale food in a crappy inn with some beers that were Miller Lite at best. Oh, and Richard was there and told us he's been under a spell the whole time he screwed me over and basically served his sister up to the count. I wasn't well, so I figured I'd kill him along with Wesley in the morning. He rested in a room, a shitty dank room on a shitty dank floor, where at least I'd be at full health when I woke.